we ready?
Yeah.
All right. So we need to figure out what oil filter needs to go in her truck. So they have the fancy QR code that pulls up a website to help find your oil filter. So we'll just search by make and model. (1979) Plymouth. Arrow with the 2O. S3950. And covers and then our deal covers an oil filter up to $7.99. So we're within that price range. S3. All right, we found our oil filter. S3950. So now we just got to find our oil, and it covers any conventional or high mileage motor oil. So now we find where they keep their motor oil at. Oh, right over here. Look for the SQP over here. Her truck calls for 10W30. So we got some high mileage stuff because her truck's a little old, so it's got some extra additives to help prolong the life of the engine.
Well, I was dumb and I forgot to get the engine oil drain plug gasket. So now we're at Napa to get the drain plug gasket. Well, hopefully third time's a charm because we're back at the parts house again because I forgot to get the drain pan and funnel that was on sale. So hopefully third time's the charm.
All right, just remember to always keep your receipts because parts are under warranty. So that, like that oil filter, if that oil filter starts leaking, it'll be under a warranty.
When was your last oil change?
Before my mission.
Before your mission. So you're saying this thing hasn't had an oil change in 2 years?
About 2 years, yeah.
Don't do that. That's a bad idea. When we get back to the house, I'll go in the house, open the garage if you want to get the ramps pulled out so we can get it up and get your oil change done.
Okay.
All right, we're ready for the oil change part. So we're going to go ahead and pop our hood. Get it open. And now would be a great time to go through all your fluids and make sure everything's good. We've already checked the oil. We know the coolant's good because we've been driving the truck all day and it hasn't overheated. And we checked it earlier today as well. So I would recommend you just do your quick visual inspection, make sure everything's good before you start your oil change. Pop your oil fill cap. Just set it off to the side. This will help drain all the oil out quickly. Now we climb on under. We find our drain plug.
You don't weigh down. You don't
We go ahead and just bust her loose. Some of them are tighter than others.
Why?
Make sure we aim right and get everything into the bucket.
Everything you do in the bucket.
Exactly, Ryan. Everything in the bucket.
While that's draining out, we want to look at our drain plug, see if there's anything we notice. And drain plugs have these gaskets on them. We recommend you change those at every oil change because you might end up leaking some oil out of your drain plug if you don't. So our local parts house didn't have just the gasket, but they had the whole drain plug with the gasket. And it wasn't that bad. It was like $3, $3 or $4. So we're going to let that oil drain all the way out. Let it drip for a little bit. If we had a bigger pan, we'd go ahead and pull the filter off right now too, but we don't have a big enough pan to catch all the oil.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, sweetheart. How are you?
I'm just do play with outside.
Oh, you're playing outside?
Yes.
Are you helping us work?
But just hoping I want to do this out.
Yeah, you're helping us do the oil change?
Yes. Here you go.
Oh, thank you, sweetheart.
You're welcome.
All right, so oil's pretty much drained all the way out, so we're just gonna put our new plug with the new drain with the new gasket on it. Right on in there.
Dad, Dave.
Yeah, you hear the train?
Yes. From the horn. This from the
Go ahead
horn.
and tighten her up. Too tight because you don't want to pull the threads out, but tight enough. Now we're right, go ahead. All the oil drained out. It's time to get our oil filter. And on this truck, it's easier to get the oil filter from up top. So I like to crack them loose. And sometimes they might be too tight. You can't get it with your hand. So you have to get a wrench. And they're like a band wrench, and they just come on here and you're able to break them loose. They really shouldn't be that tight because you only need to tighten them hand tight. Oh, and be careful, they might be hot. If if you were just driving your car or your truck, your oil filter might be a little warm. So now, get our new filter out. Make sure they look pretty close to the same. Yep, they look like the same filter. So now we're gonna grab us some of this residual oil on this filter, and we're gonna lube up the gasket on that oil filter. If you don't, they can pinch and get torn, and they'll end up leaking. So now that that's on there, just go ahead and thread it on there. And hand tight is plenty.
Hi, Dad.
Too tight and you'll pinch that gasket off and they'll leak. Too loose and the gasket won't seal and they'll leak. So good enough's good enough. Hand tight's all you need.
Hi, Dad.
So now, all right. So now it's time to fill up with oil. So grab your trusty funnel, whether it be the $4 kit or the funnel that comes with the $4 kit, or your favorite grandpa's funnel. Get your oil and make sure you know how much oil goes in the car you're putting in. If you don't know capacity or what type of oil to use, a quick Google search will tell you. This truck calls for 1030, and it takes just about 4 quarts. Now the deal we got was on 5 quarts, so we'll have to be careful to not overfill with oil. But oil jugs come with, and they tell you how much oil there is. So we'll stop and we'll check. Oh, we're close. We got another quart and a half we can pour in. We need to pour in there.
The wheel. Yeah. The wheel, Auntie Mom.
Is that the wheel?
Yeah, are you checking her brakes? Making sure she's good?
Make a dessert and have rain.
Alright, so that's about 4 quarts in there. So we'll go ahead and close her up. Grab our funnel. Set our funnel off to the side. Put our fill cap back in. Now the important part, we need to make sure there's enough oil in it. So you want the car level, and then you want to fire it up and let it run until it builds up all the oil pressure, shut it off, and then we'll check it again. Since we're up on the ramps, we're going to start it and run it off the ramps, then we'll shut it off and check the oil level.
Dad, did you go back down?
Yep, it went back down.
In the oil change?
Alright, now that we're back on level ground, we've run her and got oil pressure there, it's time to check our oil level. You can just grab an old rag, an old t-shirt, or something you can get dirty. We're just using a kitchen paper towel. So we're going to go ahead and pull that dipstick and we're going to wipe it. And we're going to put it back in, pull it out, and check our oil level. See? We're in between our two marks. That's the high mark. Anything over that's too full. Anything below that's too low. We're right in the middle, so we're perfect. And that is how you do an oil change. Alright, we're pretty much finished up with our oil change. All we have left is just the cleanup stuff. So you're going to have that leftover used oil, and it's not really good for much. So you can just put it back in the container for your new oil and take it back to wherever you bought the oil, because wherever you bought the oil will take the used oil. That's just another way me and my family are keeping you on the road.